I'm quite sure there were times you're like, oh, I'm not going to do this because you're limiting yourself.
But I allowed myself to go through the door and not be afraid. But I just trust God.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're passionate about something, then you're also curious and you open up other doors of opportunities.
How did that broaden your scope of dreaming big?
Captiva Design is ministry. Sometimes they're so stressed and I know they're stressed and I'm like, I'll take care of it. I've prayed with people. I pray over every property that I put my hand to.
Because business owners, sometimes it's tough, they get rejected. How did you handle that?
I always say beauty takes time, right? You don't stick it in a microwave and it's done. It's a process. This is 22 years of building, knock down, get back up, be patient.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Henry Fernandez. Our goal here on this podcast is to help our listeners and supporters become the best version of themselves through the content we create and share on this platform. We have started a mini-series on women in business to empower both our male and female audience to step out on faith when it comes to starting a business. So on today's episode, I have someone very special joining me who did just that. We are not just talking about, design, but we're also talking about destiny. Bridget King has been a part of our journey for years as a member at the Faith Center family and have personally, gotten herself involved in church. And I have watched her stepped out in faith and grow into an incredible business leader. She went from decorating our green rooms and staging some of our plays to becoming the owner of Captiva Design, a company staging and designing luxury homes, yachts, and celebrity spaces. Her story is a powerful reminder that when God calls you, He also equips you. So I want to take this time out to welcome you, Bridget.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thanks for being on the podcast with me today. I want to start out by first saying, your actions years ago inspired me, because I remember when you came to me first and you were talking about what you're passionate about, what you want to do. There was a little bit of fear there and so forth. I want you to tell the real ones, my audience, what motivated you to really, truly take a step of faith and launch out doing Captiva Design?
Well, Bishop, I've been at this church now for almost 17 years, and everything that you have talked about, preached about, has been faith-based.
Right.
And so I knew that this was my passion. I found my purpose. I just didn't know how to execute it. And quite honestly, I think March of next year, April, will be 22 years that I have been in the grind, in the struggle, working to build this thing from the ground up. So back when I started in the interior decorating and home staging space, there were no coaches and mentors and people to kind of help push you along to start a business. I had to learn through trial and error. That's how I learned. And one promise that I made to myself that if I ever got established, I would never not allow myself to mentor or coach or help somebody coming behind. So I can honestly say that I had to first face the fear of failure, because in the failure, I learned.
Right.
And so you're going to learn either through pain or through money, right? You might lose some money when you're starting your business.
Right.
But this is all preparing you for the greater.
But you have a passion for this, obviously,
I do.
Yes. And what I tell people, don't do something you're not passionate about, because then when you're tested and you have those challenging moments, it's easy to quit.
Very easy to quit.
But when you're passionate about something, even though sometimes you tell yourself, I'm going to quit, you won't, because it's like, I was born for this, right? So you're passionate about this and so forth. Where does this drive to decorate and to stage people's homes, where did it all come from?
So my degree was not in anything related to real estate or design, but when I look back as a young girl, I remember looking at pretty homes and changing up my own bedroom and making it feel different. But at the time, I didn't recognize that talent.
Right.
And of course, my parents are Jamaican,
Right,
and it's all
right.
about get that education and get a good
Oh,
job,
yes.
right?
Yes, yes.
So interior design, home staging, that was never
Yeah.
even on the roadmap. But I went to school, did my college career, worked in corporate America, and then essentially what happened was my husband got his real estate license, and we decided we were going to buy homes and rehab. And that's really how I fell into
Really?
this whole thing.
I didn't know that.
right?
Yeah.
So I had an eye for putting things together. So we would rehab the homes. People were buying them completely furnished with everything that I decorated. So I said, I'm onto something here. So I ran into somebody who said, hey, there's a course you can take and become an accredited home stager. And that way, that accreditation helps you validate yourself in the real estate community. And that's exactly what I did. And then the market was booming. So we were flipping homes, people were buying them, full price offers, and then the market crash came.
Right.
That's what was a turning point for me because everything was riding really well on the real estate wave, right? It was doing well, it was booming. But when the crash came now, remember, I'm working in real estate. I'm helping people sell homes. Everything came tumbling down, and my faith came tumbling down with it. And long and short, I decided I was gonna shut it down, and I was gonna go back to corporate America.
Wow.
And I did that. And I went back to corporate America and I hated it.
Right.
And I cried.
Wow.
And I said to my husband, I can't do this. I need to go back and try this thing again. And thankfully, I was able to do that. And so I started building the business brick by brick, little by little, making my contacts. And from the home staging now came the design part, because I would stage people's homes and they would say, can you come help me with my new home? So that was the lead in to the design part of my business.
Wow.
And then from there now, I started meeting people who had higher incomes.
Right.
And I said, the yacht staging community we are in the largest boating community in the country.
Yeah, because I saw images in West Palm Beach. You did the boat
Palm
show
Beach,
there.
There's a
You
Fort
did an
Lauderdale
incredible job.
boat show. There's a Miami boat show. I've done them all. And so now you're dealing with high net worth people.
Right.
But yacht staging wasn't a thing. I created that niche because I didn't see anybody doing it. So when everybody's going this way, I decided to go that way.
Right. Wow.
Then from there, I staged somebody's home. After I staged it, they're like, can you help me do my Christmas tree?
Right, because
I'd never done Christmas trees before.
So that's
other than
where
for my
all of
own
that
home.
came from? Wow.
Yes. God was just opening up doors, but I allowed myself to go through the door and not be afraid. This woman had me do 2 of her Christmas trees. I'd never done Christmas trees for anybody. And from there, I started posting on social media.
Yeah.
And then every year, more people like, can you do my tree? Can you? And then the church,
Right.
this church at the Faith Center,
Yes, yes.
I became like the lead Christmas tree person.
And you did a phenomenal job.
And
So,
the challenge,
yeah,
that was a 20-foot tree.
it's tall. Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
If you remember, we used to have a lift in the church.
Yes,
I
yes.
was on that lift.
Lift,
I'd never
yeah.
been on a lift in my life. I said, Lord Jesus, please don't let me drop off this lift. And the tall ladders,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then building a team of the congregants to come together.
Right.
And we work on the project and we decorate the church so beautifully. And then you were doing the plays. I'd never done a play before.
Right.
And
yeah.
you're like, you can do this.
Right. Yep. And
So,
you decorate the stage
Decorate
for
the
the play.
stage, and you're like, we need to do an update to the VIP lounges
Yeah.
at
right.
the back of the church. I'd never done that kind of work before, but I just trust God.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like if you're passionate about something, then you're also curious, and you open up other doors of opportunities. And the beauty about design is you can design commercial spaces, you can design residential spaces, yacht spaces, RVs. RVs are homes on wheels.
Right.
It can be staged.
Right,
A
right.
yacht is a home on the water. It can be staged. And then a home is built on the soil.
Right. There's no doubt that you have a niche for this, right? I want to go back to the home stage and the decorating that you do. But before I do that, let's talk about, because a lot of real ones, females, they're entrepreneurs, they're starting business, have already started their business. How difficult it was for you as a woman going into that industry, because as you know, you could be discriminated because of your sex, because of your ethnicity, all of that. Because business owners, sometimes it's tough, they get rejected. How did you handle that?
So coincidentally, in the design arena, it's predominantly women. So
Oh,
I didn't
really?
ha-
Okay,
yeah,
so, okay,
yeah.
good.
So I didn't have to really break through on that
Right,
part.
right.
But not a lot of Black women.
Okay,
And when you're dealing with high net worth clientele,
right.
then that pool gets even smaller,
Smaller,
right? So
okay.
it's grown. I will say the industry, both the staging industry and the design industry has grown, but that was a challenge at sometimes, and you have to show up and you have to do it better and, give more
Right.
value because of your skin color. And they've never seen anybody like you in that space. So when you show up, you better have all
Your A game, your A game.
total A game.
Right, okay,
Right?
okay.
So as a woman entrepreneur, and what I tell the newer, younger generation that's coming up is, one, you have to know your service or your product like in your sleep. That
That's good.
people are confident that I'm handing over my home, which is probably one of the largest assets in my financial portfolio. You better know what you're doing.
That's good.
Right? So you really need to study, and you really should have a mentor and a coach to help you along the process, especially if you've never run a business before. People see the pretty, but there's so much more behind the scenes.
Behind the scene.
And that's just a very small portion of running a successful staging and design business. You got to know your numbers. You got to know how to price your business. You got to do customer service. You got to do social media. I wear so many hats, Bishop. I mean, now that I've grown,
Right.
I feed out a lot of my work to
Right.
my contractors. They help me tremendously.
That's
But
good.
you need mentors. You need a community to support you, so that when you do go down, or you do fall down, or you do mess up, you can pick yourself back up again.
Okay.
That's so important.
Let's talk a little bit about decorating. Now, I love that. You know
Yes.
me. I'm all into that. I won't call this station, but when I go home, my TV is a lot in that station because it gives me ideas
Right.
and different things like that. Our listeners, they're watching, and talk to us a little bit about how sometimes people have their space is okay. The home is okay, the location where they live. But as a designer and a staging person, the importance of having people like you to teach them how, just sometimes it's the position of the furniture.
Yes.
I'm learning that. You taught me that. Seriously, what you did with our green room, I'm like, oh, it's all about positioning where the bed is supposed to be, where the nightstand, where the chair, the coffee table, and so forth. Because sometimes people have a beautiful home and the furnitures are good, but just don't know what to do.
So we call that home edits.
Okay.
That's what I call it.
Okay.
So, and I do a lot of that, especially within the real estate community, because you're selling your home. I'm working with a homeowner who's living in the home while trying to sell it. You're not gonna just go buy all new furniture
Right.
for your home. So I gotta know how to work with what you have, edit out the things that we don't need, move things around, and bring in, some items to refresh the home. So that's a big, big part of what I do. But I can tell you that color is so instrumental, whether you're selling or you're designing your space for
How
yourself.
so? How so?
So color can either give excitement or make you tense or stress, or it can
Really?
be calm. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know about it. Really?
When you're, say for instance, decorating your bedroom, we call that the primary bedroom. We like calming, soothing colors that evoke like a spa, relaxation, right? So I would never paint somebody's bedroom in red. Red is
Now I
like
see where you're
energy,
going.
right? Or
Okay.
orange, right?
Right.
So we're looking at more taupes and beiges and creams,
Earth
or
tone.
light blues, earthy. Yeah, some color is fine, right? But we want to pay attention to stuff like that, especially when you're selling your home, because that's different. Designing your home and selling your home is two different animals,
things.
right?
Right.
So when we're selling your home, we're designing for the general population, right?
Not for you.
Not for you.
See, that
For-
mistake a lot of
that's the
homeowners
mistake,
make. I
right.
like it this way,
Right.
but if you're selling it,
No.
it has to be appealing to the buyers.
To the masses that are coming through.
Okay.
And the first place that a buyer is going to go is the internet. So the photos are super important when selling your home. Now, if I'm designing your home for your own personal taste, if you like purple, we can do it, because that's for you. But once you say, I need to sell the home, then more than likely I'm going to tell you we need to, tone that down.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So a design too, a lot of people, they're confused between like a designer and a decorator. So an interior designer will go to college, they'll get a degree, they'll maybe sit under an architect, take an exam, they can read plans. It's more involved structurally. Decorators can come in and what we call is no demo reno. So we can fix up your house without tearing down the walls.
Right.
Or building a second floor or adding an addition,
Right.
because now you're getting into more of a structural type of design. But I like to make ugly pretty. That's my theme, right?
Right.
And I can take a room and I can see the room for what it can be, not what it is. So that's
Wow.
my gift.
So let me ask you, if you were to be called, hey, I'm selling my home and so forth, what part of the house is the most important part that you feel buyers, this is what's going to sell the house? Is it the kitchen? Because I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. Is it the kitchen, the bathrooms, the garage, what, the front entrance of the house? What is that thing based on your experience?
Well, there are so many. That
Okay.
is a very layered question
Okay.
because
It
it
varies.
encompasses the entire property from the moment you drive up to the house.
From the driveway.
It really should speak to you if you're
Okay.
looking to purchase it. But internally, like as far as the interior of the home, the kitchen and the family room are the heart of the home.
Kitchen
This
and
is
the family
this
room.
is where most people spend their time. If you think
Okay.
about it, you go to bed at night, you get up, you get ready for work, for school, and you're gone. However, women buyers love large closets, ensuite bathrooms, and space for all the clothes, the shoes, the purses. So that's always a bonus when you have
Right.
large closet space. And
Okay.
I would presume most women would not argue with me on that.
Okay.
But
Put it in the chat.
but I would say that the kitchen, updated kitchens are a winner all day long. Okay?
Okay.
And then family rooms, because that's where your company,
Okay.
your family, your children, you congregate.
What about the kitchen cupboards? Is it white is more preferred, natural wood, or
So what's trending now is a little bit of everything,
Okay.
but I can tell you that white never goes out of style.
okay,
White is clean, it's fresh, and then you can pop it with some color. Another important space for those of us here in South Florida, or in Florida in general, is the patio. The patio is an extension of outdoor lifestyle living in South Florida. Why? Because everybody has a pool.
Right, right.
So we like to focus on creating another entertainment space. If you follow design right now, you will see these outdoor kitchens look nicer than some of the interior kitchens.
Right.
And they're outfitted with everything that
Wow.
you could need or want,
Wow.
right? So we like to pay attention to the exterior backyard patio area as well.
I'm going to talk about the yachts in just a minute. But do you find yourself when you go to these clients, these homes, even the yachts, and you're there to work, do you find yourself becoming a counselor?
Yes,
People telling you their problems
yes.
and so forth.
That's part of the business. And so Captiva Design is ministry. And I ask God,
ministry.
it is ministry. First of all, I'm a problem solver because I deal with people. Have you ever moved
Yes.
It's work.
I hate it. Oh, yeah.
Selling your house and moving is work. It also costs money.
It's stressful too.
And if you have kids and pets and all that activity on top of that, it's very stressful. So my whole thing is to come in and bring some calm and a plan that we can execute that's going to work for you and for me. And so people move and sell homes for various reasons. Death, divorce, multi-generational living now is huge. So some of the builders now are actually building a ADU in the back of the house so that the adult children can move back, or they need to care for their aging parents.
Wow.
And they're on the property with them. So everybody's together, but you have your space, I have mine. And things happen in life that maybe you weren't thinking of selling, but now you have to. Maybe somebody lost a job and you have to sell. So there's so many reasons why people would sell. And I have to listen to some of that and still bring calm. And you have to have a good listening ear. You don't have to respond to everything. Sometimes they're so stressed, and I know they're stressed, and I'm like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Because it's ministry to you.
Yeah. I've prayed with people. I pray over every property that I put my hand to and my trades put their hand to.
It's wonderful.
I've never been sued. Nobody's ever come for me for anything. And if I make the mistake, I correct it, because you're going to make mistakes.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Don't let any business fool you that they've never lost money and made mistakes. It's part of doing business,
Okay.
right? But as you grow and you mature, you learn what to do and what not to do. Get yourself a good accountant.
Right.
Get yourself a good attorney.
That's good.
Get yourself a good, graphic design person, whatever it is that you need to support your business. You need to have all those people in place. You can't do it all. You will burn out. I have burnt out. I used to do it all.
Right.
The good thing is when you're starting out and you know how to do it all, then you know how to address each issue should it pop up.
Well, good advice you're giving to these business owners. Let's get back to the yacht industry. Now, that's a whole nother beast. That's a whole nother beast. So you started out staging these yachts. And by the way, real ones. Listen, Bridget, I tell people this, because a lot of people sometimes when they see people owning yachts or living in these, you go on the beach,
Right.
$30 million house. One day I remember I was with someone and there's a guy, check this out, true story, in Fort Lauderdale. He bought this house on the beach for $75 million. $75 million. It was a 20,000 square foot house. And knock it down.
Up all the time.
Knock it down.
Yeah.
20,000 square foot to build a 5,000 square foot. To me, the math don't make sense. So this person was saying, these people just wasting their money. And I said, well, hold up. The reason why you're talking that way is you don't have it.
Yeah.
Because $75 million to him, or whoever did it, her, it's probably 75 cents to $100 you have.
Right. It's all relative.
So everything is relative, And so I tell people, don't be jealous. Don't talk down at people. So God allowed you now to walk into this industry where these people are loaded with money and so forth. How, as a businesswoman, I'm quite sure there were times you're like, oh, I'm not going to do this, because you're limiting yourself.
Right.
How did that broaden your scope of dreaming big? When you step on some of these boats,
It's insane. I was blown away. And quite honestly, the way I even got into it was I knew somebody who was a realtor who I actually went to school with, whose husband sold yachts. And I saw them post, oh, congratulations on the yacht sale. So I said, let me look at this yacht. And when I looked at it, I'm like, wow, it could use a touch.
Whoa.
And I said, let me call and see if I can get a connect. And so long story short, I got a connect and I got my first redesigned yacht. So that means it's outfitted with everything. but it was kind of old and it just needed to be refreshed. And when I went to the house, because the yacht was docked in the back of the house, it was a little intimidating to me because although I said, I want to step out and I want to do this, it was like, I've never done this before.
Right.
You can't step on nobody's yacht with your shoes on, first of all.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, take it off.
You take your shoes off, leave them there, put socks on, or go barefoot. And so I didn't know that, right? So I had to learn yacht etiquette, so to speak. And I went on Google and YouTube and started doing my research because you better know what you're talking about because I can't afford to fix anything on the yacht. It's very expensive to put gas in the yacht. So I had to learn the etiquette. I had to learn the terminology. I had to learn how to talk to people who had that level of money and they trust me because I had never seen a black yacht stager. I used to go down to the boat show when I first started, and I had these T-shirts, yacht stager. I said, oh, I'm going to go advertise my business, Captiva Design. And it's funny and it's sad. The guys that are black and brown, they're the ones getting all the flooring ready and putting the stuff together and,
I know where you're going.
Doing the grunt work to get ready for this big show. And they would see me and they're like, what is that? And people would be looking at me like, what are you doing? What do you do?
Right.
Because they'd never seen anything like that before. And every show, you kind of start to see the same people. And I had to explain to them, this is what I do. And by doing that, then I got more companies asking me to do yacht staging for 2 or 3 of their yachts for the show. And little by little, that social media, that's a powerful tool.
Yes.
And I tell entrepreneurs, use it because it's the fastest, most efficient, quickest way to get your name out there.
An inexpensive way to do it.
Yeah, if you can do it yourself, for sure, right? So, listen, if you're building your business and you don't have a lot of clientele, then you should be working on the business.
There you go.
Because you don't have to serve the clients yet, so you can do all of that work on your own. Once you get busy now, then you may have to hire somebody to help you with that. Wow. But the yacht business is a different animal from the residential home business.
Right.
And it's a very expensive price tag on these yachts, 20 million, 10 million, 8 million, and you have to be so careful not to break or scratch anything.
Yes.
But the good thing is I can bring in just soft goods because remember, the furniture is already built in.
Right.
So we might order some chairs for the dining room, but it's different from staging or decorating a house.
Right.
So the good thing is all that stuff's already built in.
Right. So it looks like you're going to do jets next.
Oh gosh, from your lips to God's ears.
I see you doing jets now, but that's incredible. Finally, based on your experience in business, the trials and the errors and so forth, what would you say to someone who's watching if they were to ask, what are some of the lessons you've learned, mistakes that you have made that you can pass on to them for them to avoid those same mistakes?
Be patient with yourself.
Be patient with yourself.
Yeah, this is not, this is 22 years of building, knock down, get back up, be patient. I always say beauty takes time. Right? You don't stick it in a microwave and it's done. It's a process, right? And be open to learning and taking advice from other people who have been there, done that, so to speak.
That's good.
Read or listen to podcasts. I'm an Audible learner, so pretty much every day in my car, because I'm running all over the city, I'm listening to podcasts that help me grow and learn. Get a mentor, get a coach, invest in yourself. And invest in yourself meaning sometimes you have to invest in your attire, the way you present yourself to the community that you serve, right? You have to invest in your education so that people know you know what you're talking about. And if you don't know, don't make up lies.
True.
Because that could do you more damage in the
It'll
end.
come back and haunt you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And invest in yourself in going to workshops and trainings and shows. I do that all year long. I'm always ready to learn. and get with people who are like-minded,
That's good. That's
other
good.
business people, whether it's in your field or even outside of your field. I study business and how they run that aren't even related to design, because I'm always interested to see, well, how do they do that thing even though they're in a different industry?
Right, right. Well, Bridget, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your story is really an inspiration. And I wish you all the best. I know you're going to succeed, and get ready for the jet. She's going to be doing the jet. So, I, again, appreciate the inspiration of her story, from fear, I should say, to faith, from hesitation to building a thriving business that is currently impacting lives. And I hope her journey reminds all of you of what God has placed in your heart isn't just a dream, it's a calling. So don't let fear stop you. Step out in faith, because you never know how far God can take you when you trust Him. So I want to thank Bridget again for sharing her journey with us. And our listeners, again, thanks for tuning in. Please make sure, if this episode encouraged you, especially if you're a business owner, put in the chat, but also share it with a friend and subscribe so that you don't miss any stories from any of these episodes. This is Henry Fernandez saying, I love you, man. I'll see you next time on another podcast. This is good. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see you doing the Jets.